Alright, Soldier Knights, here we are again with Spidey School's Out, issue number 3. Yeah, I think I said I wasn't gonna review this book anymore or read this book anymore, but I saw that Black Panther was on the cover, and it kind of had me intrigued because I wanted to see how this series would introduce other characters and how other characters might elevate it. And I honestly gotta say that I think it definitely elevates it because this was my favorite issue so far. Still not like a great issue, like compared to some of the other stuff that's out there. But I, as far as this series is concerned, I think it was the best issue of this series. So it starts like in the middle of the story with Spider-Man chasing Black Panther across the rooftops, and Black Panther has Spider-Man's web shooters in his hand, and he's basically like trying to tell him something or whatever. And he's basically trying to tell Spider-Man that he's not the enemy, and Spider-Man's like, "Give me my web shooters," and they start fighting, and then that's where the issue goes back until you start learning how that came to be. And it's an okay issue. The art's still like the best thing about the book. I actually do like the art style. It's very crisp and clean. Um, and just like with Spider-Man, in the Spider-Man characters, they decided to go for a very movie influenced version of the Black Panther and his royal guard, or is that was that what you call the two girls? I forget what they're called, but they basically go for a very Civil War, Black Panther inspired suit, and everything about this series connects very much to the MCU. Like, it's all very influenced from the MCU. But then you have the reason why Black Panther's in the story is because Tony Stark needs someone to go investigate what's been happening at the camp, and to help out to figure out what's going on with the Spider-Man situation. So he sends Black Panther, who's apparently their best buds in this world, when they're not really best buds in the MCU, to go help him with this. And it just feels very unrealistic that Black Panther, who's the king of his own goddamn country, would come down and basically try to defuse some little situation with a bunch of teenagers at a teenager camp. Even if it's ran by Tony Stark, I feel like it would be little of him to do that. Now he does try to, they do try to justify it by saying that T'Challa, or whatever his name is, Black Panther was around nearby at a UN conference or something like that, and Tony had the call, and Tony was busy doing some kind of big mission or something, so he went and did it. But even then, it still feels like a far-fetched idea to think that Black Panther would come and do this. Or if they could have just got someone else to do it. Like, why couldn't Happy investigate or something? Someone else. But other than that logic gripe, and some more of the kind of teenagey drama stuff, which I'm not a big fan of. I really don't like the way they write that one character, Gigi. She's kind of just comes off as being really annoying, even though she's supposed to be a really smart character. So the other thing I really did like about this issue was the action is good, but the other thing I really liked about the issue is the way that Spider-Man doesn't have his web shooters for most of the issue, and I kind of like that because it kind of like you don't see that all the time, not all that often, and it really shows you how much he depends on his web shooters. Because there's a part where he's like on the side of a building, and he decides he's gonna go web shoot, and he realizes he doesn't have his web shooters on, and he has to like duck and weave, and then he has to like climb up all the way up a building, which takes like way longer than it would. It basically takes forever for him to get to town without his web shooters, and it's a really big inconvenience for him. There is a nice little cliffhanger at the very end of this issue, and overall it's okay, but definitely the best of this series, but definitely still kind of a pass for me.